Quick question. How many ways do you think there are to retire early? Most people can name one, maybe two. Save a bunch, buy index funds, cross your fingers. But there are actually 15, and they're not all the same speed. Some get you out in under 5 to 10 years. Some take a slow, scenic 30. So today, I'm not listing them at you like a grocery receipt. Picture one timeline from year 0 on the left to year 30 on the right. And every one of these 15 strategies lands somewhere on it, based on one thing only: how fast it gets you out of the rat race. We'll use a pretend person earning $100,000 a year to keep the math clean. But swap in your own income and watch where you'd land. It's a race. Fast and risky on one end, slow and safe on the other. Hey, I'm Richard. On this channel, I break down money moves for regular people. Not the Wall Street crowd, not trust fund kids, just real strategies you can actually use this week. If that's your kind of channel, hit subscribe and stick around. First pin. Strategy 1 is traditional FIRE, which just stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. The original recipe, Grandma's Meatloaf. You save a big slice of your paycheck, 30 to 50%, shovel it into cheap index funds, and follow the 4% rule. That rule sounds fancy, but think of a fruit tree in your backyard. About 30 years ago, a guy named William Bengen dug through decades of market history and found that if you only pick 4% of the fruit each year, the tree grows back faster than you're picking, even in the worst stretches the market ever had, so you never strip it bare. So your nest egg needs to be 25 times whatever you pull out in a year. Want $40,000 a year? 40,000 times 25 is $1 million bucks. And 4% of $1 million is your 40 grand. For our 100,000 earner, this takes about 15 to 18 years. So we plant the flag at year 16. That's our baseline. Everything else beats it or loses to it. Strategy 2 is Entrepreneur FIRE, the fastest pin on the board. Instead of saving your way out, you build the business at night and on weekends. An online store, a software product, a content business, an agency. And you either sell it for a lump sum or grow it until it pays your bills forever. Sell within 3 to 5 years for $1.5 million or $2 million, and the 4% rule says you're done. But this is the lottery ticket. Your buddy Pete catches lightning in a bottle and cashes out in 3 years, while your buddy Mike pours 2 years in and it dies in a ditch and costs him money. Fastest path, also the wildest. If you try it, at least open a solo 401k or a SEP IRA if you want simpler. Both are retirement accounts for self-employed folks. And the solo 401k lets you contribute as both employee and boss, up to $72,000 a year when business is booming, with the SEP IRA around the same place. The point is to hide as much money from the taxman as you can while it grows. On speed alone, it earns year 3 with a giant asterisk, because you never know if it pays off in 3 years, 10, or never. Next is Coast FIRE, and here's the twist. This one isn't a finish line, it's a checkpoint. Think of pushing a car up a hill. You shove like crazy until you crest the top, then take your hands off and let it roll down on its own. You save super aggressively until your portfolio is big enough to compound to a full retirement number by itself. Then you stop contributing entirely. You're still working, but coasting at an easy job, or a lower-paying one you love. And that paycheck only covers today's bills, while compounding handles tomorrow. Say our earner buckles down for 5 years and socks away $40,000 a year. Start at 23, and by 28, they've got $253,000. They stop adding a single dollar. And after 39 years of compounding, by 67, they're sitting on over $5 million. That magic came from starting young with 39 years of runway. so your number shifts with your age. Ideally, you park this in a Roth IRA so the growth is tax-free, which is powerful when you front-load it. Though a traditional 401k works too for the tax break. Most people could hit the checkpoint within 10 years if they save hard. Coast FIRE lands at year 7, just to the coasting point. Strategy 4 is digital Nomad FIRE, which barely existed 15 years ago. The trick is you don't need a giant pile as long as the money never fully stops coming in. Instead of grinding 9 to 5 at a corporate desk for 20 years, you build a remote income, freelancing, consulting, an online business, and pair it with a smaller portfolio to cover the gap. Picture your friend Jenny in a cheap beach town, working a few hours from her laptop, paying half the rent she'd pay back home. She's not retired in the gold watch sense, but nobody owns her schedule, and with time zones, she can work early and have her whole afternoon free. Most nomads want a solo 401k since they're self-employed, plus a taxable brokerage account for flexibility and access to their cash anywhere. Digital Nomad FIRE lands at year 8. It sounds like Coast FIRE, but Coast suffers hard early, then takes an easy job at home, while Nomad saves moderately and builds a free life today. Neither is full retirement. Now, extreme Frugality FIRE, exactly as brutal as it sounds. The game is squeezing your spending to the lowest level a human can sustain. 5 roommates or a shoebox apartment, the bargain grocery store, no car payment, no streaming subscriptions. You're the coworker eating the same $1.25 meal every single day without flinching. For our earner, that means living on 25 to 30% of your income and saving the rest. If you only spend $30,000 a year, you need a nest egg of $750,000 to be free. Save $50,000 a year after tax, earn 8%, and you get there in about 9 to 10 years. The catch is you have to keep living that lean if you retire right then, so it lands at year 9. Quick, but you pay for it. Next is Barista FIRE, around year 10 or 11. Semi-retirement, where you quit the high-stress career early and pick up a chill part-time gig like pulling espresso shots. Take your yearly expenses and subtract whatever the part-time job pays. Want $50,000 a year, and the barista job covers $20,000? Your gap is $30,000, so your nest egg only needs 25 times that, $750,000. The hidden bonus is health insurance, since places like Starbucks hand part-timers subsidized coverage that quietly saves you a fortune. And it doesn't have to be coffee. You could collect balls at the driving range, or do seasonal work at a summer camp or ski resort. Personally, I'm taking the golf course in a heartbeat for the discounted tee times. Flat-out win for me. Right next door is hybrid FIRE, basically Barista FIRE that went to college. Instead of a simple part-time job, you blend investment income with brainier side work. Maybe you consult a few months a year, freelance, or run a little business that throws off $25,000 while your portfolio covers the rest. That income is lumpier than a steady coffee shop paycheck, so it's less reliable, and hybrid FIRE sits a couple years back, around years 12 to 14. The next two are twins, so together. Geo-Arbitrage FIRE and Expat FIRE. Geo-Arbitrage is the broader idea, basically buying groceries at small-town prices while earning a big city paycheck. You land a high-paying job rooted in San Francisco, New York, or Seattle, then move somewhere your dollar stretches twice as far. Some companies catch on and cut your pay when you relocate, which kills the magic, but find one that doesn't, and this shines. Picture earning a $180,000 SF tech salary while living in Bozeman, Montana, or Boise, Idaho. Or go international to Portugal, Mexico, Thailand, or Costa Rica. Expat FIRE is the permanent version, where instead of being clever short-term, you move abroad for good, get the residency visa, open a local bank account, learn their healthcare system. Say you spend $60,000 a year in a pricey city, but relocating drops your lifestyle to $35,000. Your target nest egg falls off a cliff, from 1.5 million down to 875,000, so you retire way earlier without saving extra. Both land with hybrid FIRE, around years 11 to 13. If extreme frugality made you wince, lean FIRE is its gentler sibling. You spend a little more, 35 to 40,000 a year instead of 25 to 30. So your target portfolio is bigger, but you still beat traditional FIRE by years without eating ramen in the dark. You're still cooking most meals, but you can grab dinner out now and then, take a budget trip, keep a gym membership. For our earner spending 40,000 a year, the target is a clean 1 million, and saving around 35,000 a year after tax with average returns, you hit it around years 13 to 15. That's 4 to 6 years slower than extreme frugality. But the gap between living on 25 grand and 40 grand is the difference between surviving and actually enjoying the ride. Final stretch. And this one flips the script. Real estate FIRE. Every strategy so far was save, invest, 4% rule. This one builds cash flow from rental properties. I'll be straight, this is my least favorite on the list, and I'll tell you why in a second, but plenty of people have done it. The most common move is house hacking. You buy a duplex, live in one half, and rent out the other. Because you live there, you can use an FHA loan with as little as 3.5% down instead of the usual 20% landlords cough up. The rent covers most or all of your mortgage, freeing up your income to save for the next place. Then you rinse and repeat. And each property might throw off $500 or $1,000 a month after mortgage, repairs, and insurance. By year 12 to 16, with 3 to 5 units, you might pull $4,000 a month, which is $48,000 to $72,000 a year. Here's my gripe. You just became a landlord, fixing a tenant's washing machine at 2 in the morning, and every empty unit chews into your cash flow. To me, that's not retiring early. That's trading one job for being a landlord. It's also less popular right now with rates this high. The big upside is leverage. You're using the bank's money to buy assets while your tenants pay off the loan. Real estate FIRE lands at years 12 to 16, so we pin it at year 15. Now one I actually love. Dividend FIRE. Think of owning a flock of chickens where you live off the eggs and never eat the chickens. You build a portfolio of dividend-paying stocks and live entirely off the payouts without selling a single share. To pull $50,000 a year at a 4% yield, you'd need $1.25 million in dividend stocks. So it's slower than traditional FIRE, but the trade-off is psychological gold because you never touch the principal. Your portfolio just lays eggs every year. The underlying stocks are calmer and less volatile, and you sleep like a baby knowing your future paychecks are safe. This lands between years 20 and 25, so we set it at year 22. Before the finale, 2 long-game strategies, pension FIRE and slow FIRE, both in the 20 to 30-year zone. Pension FIRE has nothing to do with investing. You work a government, military, or union job long enough to earn a defined benefit pension. Just a guaranteed check that shows up every month for the rest of your life. A paycheck that refuses to die. After enough years of service, our earner might lock in $50,000 to $70,000 a year. No market worries, no withdrawal math. It just keeps coming. The price is commitment, marrying one career for 2, 3, even 4 decades. We put pension FIRE at year 25, though you could argue 30 or later. Then, slow FIRE, the opposite of extreme frugality. Instead of cutting everything and speed-running the finish, you just save 15 to 20% of your income and enjoy your life along the way. On 100 grand, that's 15 to 20,000 a year, and you're not throwing away your young years to do it. Honestly, most people should aim for slow FIRE. It's sustainable and realistic, getting you out around 57, 58, or 59. Not crazy early, but a lot better than clocking out at 67. Slow FIRE sits around years 25 to 30, so we place it at year 27. The last one is the most fun to read about and the slowest to reach. FIRE. Financial independence on steroids. You're so loaded you can spend 100 grand, 200, even 500,000 a year in retirement. Fancy travel, multi-million-dollar houses, full budget for Rolexes or Pokemon cards or whatever your heart wants. The early retirement everybody daydreams about. But, reality check, almost nobody reaches it without a huge income. Like a doctor who owns their practice, a VP of engineering at a tech company, or someone who sold a business for millions. Most folks in that world have 5 to 10 million, if not more. At our 100,000 income level, this person probably never gets there. So it's the slowest path unless you strike it rich selling a business or hitting an IPO. Where does it land? Somewhere from year 28 to 35, which literally runs right off the end of our timeline. So there you have it, all 15 strategies pinned from year 0 to year 30. My personal favorite, the one I'm actually targeting, is Dividend FIRE, because the never sell a share thing just feels good in my gut. Before you go, which one is closest to where you are right now? And did I miss any? Tell me in the comments. And if you like this, you'll probably like my video on every financial trap you'll face as your net worth grows, linked right here. All right, that's it from me today. If this saved you a few bucks or just made the topic make sense, drop a like. It genuinely helps the channel keep going. I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.